Hello, hello everyone. Thank you for joining today's webinar. I'm very happy to be accompanied by the co-founders of AM.Golf, Adrian and Nick. Um, we've been very excited to working together with them over the past couple of months in preparing this exciting opportunity and joining them in their vision of democratizing golf, which is an increasingly, loved and played sport. So without further ado, I'll invite Nick and Adrian to start and introduce themselves a bit, and how they ended up starting AM.Golf, and then walk us through the pitch. And in the second part of today's session, we have the majority of the session should be allocated for questions and answers. So if you'd have any curiosities, feel free to address them in the chat or Q&A tab. So Nick, the floor is yours.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nick, and first of all, I'm an avid golfer. And then, I pretty much in my day-to-day life, I do investment and some other stuff, mainly related to finance. But being in love with golf so much, at a certain moment, we came together with Adrian to founded AM.Golf, which is what we believe is going to be like an Uber of golf for this world, that is going to connect to the golfing world. As we speak today, there are many kinds of softwares out there, but they're not really aimed to unite. They're more like silo softwares. So what we thought is that would it be nice to have like one software throughout the world where you can use it just like you use Uber. If you go to New York or to Hanoi or to Bucharest, right? You will use your same Uber app and it will have your same card and you will have all the functionalities necessary for you not to have to change and buy new apps and whatever. So pretty much that was the mission. And together with Adrian, who I'll let him also introduce himself, we we started this business that we are looking to ramp up right now and develop worldwide. Adrian?
Hi guys, I hope you can hear me. Most of you know me from what I see in the list, I worked with you either as a customer or we know each other from competing against each other. As Nick said, I'm the tech half of the story. I have a background in engineering, ran engineering teams around the world. Spent about 10 years in London, spent about 3 years in Silicon Valley, and I came back from there with this, almost infected, if you want, with this idea that I have to create something. And as Nick pointed out, we found that something, we found the vision of unifying our hobbies and experience and creating a platform for golfers worldwide. I think, as Eric put in the intros, I think our goal today is to briefly walk you through our vision and then take questions from you with regards to what would it clarify or what would it make our position clearer so that you can be part of our growth journey, really. Nick, you wanna get going with
Yeah, I see we have a all right. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through a little bit. I don't know if you guys have actually gone through the pitch deck, but I'm gonna go through it a little bit and talk a little bit about AM.Golf. So clearly we're looking to to connect and unify the world of golf, and that is to have one single platform that we do everything. And the way this started is, of course, as I told you earlier, we were in a position where we visited many countries and we saw a lot of systems and how they're built and what their features are. And we arrived to the conclusion that it would be nice to have it. Now, at the time, Adrian, as a tech guy, he could see that he could build this. As a finance guy, I was only imagining how nice it would be. So it was good that we came together and we started this. That it has picked up quite a bit over the years, and we have developed it. And now we are actually looking to scale it worldwide. In the meanwhile, the market is there. I mean, we have an opportunity to address all kinds of sides of this business that are not only individual golfers. There are entities that pretty much are in the golf business. So that it's a much wider world that includes golf unions, or namely called federations in the European space. Um, we have a lot of amateur players, right? We have over 65 million and growing fast. We're expecting it to be 85 million in 5 years. Golf is picking up quite a bit. We have clubs and private associations. That means your golf clubs. And here you have tens of thousands of clubs worldwide, mainly concentrated in the United States. Then you have the golf professionals, which are your teachers and your professional players that also use all kinds of products today to be able to book lessons and market themselves in order to make money, of course, for a living. And then we have the club makers, which are the producers, equipment producers, and that are practically building all the necessary tools for us to play each day. And then and I'm giving this background. Maybe some of you are not playing golf, so I just want to make sure that everyone is on the same page. And then we have, besides the club makers, we have all the producers of all kinds of apparel and accessories necessary for golfers. And of course, you have your latest part, um, the travel agencies and everything that pretty much helps us move around, because golfers tend to travel a lot to destinations. We tend to want to see different destinations and understand different golf courses and how things are done in different countries. So we do a lot of that as well. And all that, in America alone, it's about a $200 billion a year industry. Everything I told you put together, um, people tend to spend a lot on golf. And what we want to do is be able to touch every single aspect of that golfing world. And that means actually getting people to use our system and getting all kinds of organizations to use our system, which automatically will result in us pretty much making revenue from all kinds of sides. If anyone has a question, please let me know. So, I mean, we have created a software, practically a platform that today it's working in over 14 countries. It's working from like golf unions or federations throughout Eastern Europe, Asia, America, Africa, um, and we also provide it for federations, but we also provide it for golf hotels and golf courses and all kinds of sides of the golf business. And now we're looking to extend that to actually be able to uh, pretty much take advantage of the huge golf market opportunity that it's out there in the world, and pretty much touch upon stores and sales, touch upon travel agencies, and monetize from all kinds of value-added services to individual golfers. And of course, we are looking to do a bit of B2B, bit of B2C, and also revenue sharing from all the others. So we have the system working today in all those countries. We have a chart of practically the main competitors. The golfing market, I would say it's something that it's a more like a oligopoly market. That means, there's a few big brands out there that are pretty expensive to buy today and that are managing different sides and different aspects of the game of golf. What we want to do is pretty much be able to tap into every one of those markets, but also integrate with these companies and be able to offer our players and our users in the system opportunity to pretty much be able to book a tee time everywhere in the world, be able to buy equipment, be able to book a trip, or many other services that we could provide them. So as I was saying, we're active today on 4 continents. We just got started in the United States. We have hired a person in the Pacific Midwest to actually help us start operations over there. The person already has done 4 sales. Adrian, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 4 sales in a very short amount of time. I believe that we're going to be doubling our users in the next couple of months, and then accelerate pretty fast from there. Of course, we are looking to and our financing round is pretty much to boost our presence in the United States, which is the largest golf market in the world. We're looking to boost revenue over there and set up like corporate presence over there. We realize that being in the American ecosystem, it's important because not only the golfing market is so big in the United States, but we also have the financing ecosystem that it's looking at these companies accurately, and we're able to pretty much get financing rolling in the future as well. I mean, we're looking for, of course, we will be looking to grow exponentially. This is a first step, but then we would be looking to hire even more people in the United States and open proper offices over there and pretty much be rolling on all sides of the United States in the hotspots mainly. I mean, right now we're somewhere around close to California with that, and that will be covering our West United States, and then we're going to be looking to set up in Florida a little bit to be able to sell in Florida as well. Florida is a state that has 2,000 golf courses and over 6 million players. So just to put it in perspective, Romania has 3 proper golf courses, 4, and we have about 2,000 players. America has about 25 million players with over 30,000 golf courses. So you imagine, you can understand the difference, and I think that's the market we should be focusing on in order to maximize and be able to grow our company. That mainly it's going to become an American company in a few years, and then it's going to branch out throughout the world. We're looking to, as financially, we're looking to grow exponentially, as discussed earlier. We need, of course, to operate fast. We have found people in the United States and Canada that could help us implement what we need to implement in order to be able to keep up the sales. And, the product development is going to take place here at home, but the actual sales process is going to take part in the United States. It's not excluded that we might be moving to the United States in the next few years to operate from there. And then, of course, we had some sort of plan on how the valuation is going to look over the next few years. Of course, with these figures and kind of taking benchmarks in the market, we kind of adapted a model that could show some sort of valuation. By the way, these are millions. And we believe that we can produce quite a bit of value in the next few years. Understanding better the American market and understanding how it works, I think we have a pretty good shot in developing a product over there strongly and robustly, so that we can actually get a good, because we're all interested. I mean, you are interested here, and we are interested here to develop a company that we're going to be selling at a certain moment. And being in investments, I know that you always have to see who is going to be probably your buyout uh, company. And the American esports ecosystem is growing tremendously. There's been a lot of acquisitions when it comes to esports companies, and I have a very good feeling about actually being able to transact at a certain moment. For the American companies, it's just about being the right size to transact. So I think they're not going to be looking at something for, to buy a company for 5 million, but they're going to be looking to buy a company for 20 plus million. So I think that's where we have to get. I think this financing is a first strong step to actually going into that direction, growing the company fast and robustly, and then shoot to improve even more. So I gone very quickly through this. I don't know if there has been any kind of questions. Um,
I
but
think Nick, just to stop you for a moment,
yes,
like there's a question related to, and you've mentioned the plans and the next years and how they're going to look like, but the question comes back to what are the markets, specifically countries in scope for 2025 and 2026 that you're betting your growth on.
United States. Definitely United States. I mean, we do have we're present now in 14 countries, out of which United States and Canada are two of them. I'm definitely betting on the United States, which is the largest market. I mean, we do have a baseline over here. We're going to be continuing to also sell in Europe. But from our experience and looking at the market over the past few years, America has a culture for golf, just like England does, but probably America being so much bigger and with more golf courses and the population and everything, I think that is the best market to get into, and probably we would have uh, a better conversion rate for marketing dollars spent than we would have in Europe, which is a more conservative market, takes longer to change their minds and pretty much to adopt new solutions. And then, as an American company, then we'll probably come back to Europe to go for the rest as well. I mean, the big ones like the France and the UK and Germany,
But Nick,
Spain. Yes,
if I may intervene
sure.
here, one thing I wanted to just clarify, or not clarify, but I want to leave you with a picture before I also tap into answering this question a little bit. So as Nick pointed out, and we use it throughout our discussions and our pitch, and in some cases it may sound very big or very strange, but I want to leave you with that visual, and we chose this sort of analogy for a reason. The visuals that I want to create is that that comparison with Uber, even if it's sort of different scale and it may provide a sort of negative reactions for some, but the idea that we want is the same. We want you as a user to be able to use the same platform wherever you are in the world. And it may be that the majority of the users or the clubs are in the US, but they're still, and I wanted to clarify that even then, there's a lot of Europeans and Asians that go to US, and it's not just about where the majority of the courses are, but also where the majority of the users are. So while that is the case, I want you to visualize the Uber that applies everywhere in the world. And that said, specifically for the 2025 and 2026, our goal is to grow there very much so. But also we have 3 revenue streams, as Nick mentioned. We still have untapped revenue from our existing users. We're coming up with business to consumer solution. We're coming with a marketplace. We're coming with a GPS solution, and that will be the backbone of 2025 while we grow in the US. And then, of course, we hope that then the explosion of both users and organization in the US, then we will be able to capitalize on that fast. But I didn't want to discount the fact that we are also ready to monetize the existing user base and offer them value-add services that, at least in the first part of 2025, 2026, will provide a backbone for the increased revenue that we're expecting.
Thank you so much for this. And there's a follow-up question related, if you could expand a bit on how your current business model looks like, and also perhaps, you know, give some insights about your pricing strategy and how, you know, some more numbers to the discussion.
Well, we have done a lot of research when it comes to pricing, and the main feedback that we have received and from our research was that there's many solutions out there. They're pretty much highly priced. User experience is not that good on many of them. And I think where we can make a difference is a niche where, for instance, there's a lot of clubs in America today that operate not actually having a proper system. Some of them operate in Excel. So our method of monetizing falls more towards the individuals than actually towards business to business, because I think once we attract the clubs will then generate a lot of users, right? So if you attract a club and the club has 100 members, then they all become users in your system, and they will start using the system for various golfing needs. But then again, from then on, you can start monetizing with the rest of the platform features. Now, having said that, that allows you to price yourself better when it comes to business. So with other words, if your competitor has an annual fee of €1,000 or $1,000 for a club, for a small club, right? You would be able to pretty much undercut them as far as pricing in order to get in through the door, and then you would have the users to be able to monetize later on. And that means monetizing from premium services, right? We're going to have a business to consumer premium service that is going to include GPS and all access to all kinds of other features of our platform, namely the store and you know, all kinds of the travel gate where you can get deals on travel, and you know, all kinds of things that are going to be added to the system. Now, whilst your competitors do not have that. So I think relying on this model of business is pretty much conquer by getting in a little bit cheaper and then monetize from the users, because golfers are impulse buyers. I mean, traditionally golfers will want to buy stuff. You will also have golfers spend a lot of time on the platform, right? They don't scroll around Facebook so much. They actually scroll around AM.Golf because it's what they're interested in. Facebook is already a bit noisy, let's put it that way. You know, you have a lot of news, whatever. They're concentrated on golf. So we seldomly look through analytics and actually realize that they spend quite a bit of time during high season, for instance. And we understand that, you know, that there's a lot of advantage that can be monetized from actually them spending time. So pretty much in a nutshell, that's the strategy behind it. I see that there's another question if we consider a subscription model. Yes, of course, we do. I mean, we consider a subscription model for the also for the individuals, and we already have a subscription model for the business-to-business clients. So we already have a yearly subscription for them in place right now with all the contracts we have. But once we actually finalize developing some of the features that Adrian and the team are working on, that he will be providing a bit of insights on where we are. And once we have that in place, then we can start the premium services and we can monetize. And I think that is going to also generate quite some important cash flow. So once our user numbers go up by us adding more clubs, but also our our end users, which are individuals, go up, and also the possibility of adding them to subscriptions, have them buy equipment, transact on the platform, and do revenue sharing from there. So when we have gone through the budgeting, we have taken into account a certain growth in the number of users, pretty much not even I would say a bit more pessimistic than the competitors that have done some of the features in the past that we are doing much better, I think. And the growth trajectory of that, it's we have taken kind of the same considerations. But I would say even if you scratch all that, the bigger picture is there are 65 million golfers in the world. There will be around 85 in a few years. Even if you have 1% of that market, just one, if you are able to monetize each user of those 850,000 with $10 a year, you would have over 8.5 million in revenue, and you will have probably profitability high enough so that's it's also good for a business to keep, or it's also good for you to sell the business and make money. So that's what we like to have. We like to have options on the table, and I think that strategy will work. In our past 15 years experience, we've seen how things work in this industry, and I think we have a pretty good picture. But of course, we are always open to suggestions. So.
So Nick, can you please also elaborate a bit on the competitive landscape and how does it currently look like? So who are the main existing players in the market, and how do you see this evolve, and how does AM.Golf position itself in the marketplace?
Well,
yeah. Maybe I can start on that.
Go on, Adrian.
Let me just briefly mention something on this topic. So, as Nick pointed out, the market is very segregated, and there's a number of different parts that some of our competitors are addressing. I would start by saying that, to our knowledge, there is not a single competitor that is trying to do the unified global platform that we are doing now. There are many that do some of the sections you see on the screen. There's some players in the GPS and score tracking. There's some very large players that go to clubs and provide them resort solutions for bookings and for events in general and for payments. There's some solutions out there that do just handicapping and tournaments and whatnot. And obviously there's solutions even on the retail part, where there's, as you probably, most golfers purchase their things from a small number of places. So while the market has a lot of players, to our knowledge, we are the only player that is currently started to trying to integrate everything. So we are trying to provide solutions to all of these all of these segments if you want, but also where we are not able to replace your supplier. We're trying to integrate with them so that for the end user, you still have access to those services. And this is very good represented by some of the recent discussions and developments, if you want, some deal spending. There are some places where our solution for club management is a better solution for clubs, A, because it's probably cheaper, and B, because it's probably more friendly. But in some other places, our solution is not complete enough for the resort or for whatever system they have. But we are able to successfully integrate with them and provide our end users the same experience that they have for booking tee times, registering tournaments, buying things online, reserving services and other things at the core of courses. So this is sort of, and Nick, I want to let you complete the picture if you want, but in some places we're competing against our competitors to either replace them or earn our clients. In other places we're integrating with them so that we can provide this Uber of golf throughout the world.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much that is it. We're looking to add something to the whole pot. Of course, we're looking to, in many cases, and most of the cases, the feedbacks from the other software providers, it's extremely positive. It's like, okay, we would love, or the clubs that are using, they say, well, we would love to have access to another company that could, maybe advertise our golf course to another tens of thousands of people. And I think they see value added in that, and commercially is viable. So we are definitely looking to that aspect. Competing with all kinds of software providers. It's not necessarily our main focus. I think there's a lot of space for everyone. I think the industry is still to be digitized quite heavily. I think there's not like digitization level when it comes to the golf industry is not at its maximum by far. I mean, there's so many countries in this world that don't have a proper system. They use Excel to work out their calculations and everything. So I think there is so much space in this world. I've been reading a report, and it was mentioning something about the software market being close to 1 billion right now worldwide, like only the software market. I don't put here any kinds of revenue sharing or whatever. I just a simple software market. So and it's considered to grow quite a bit because so many countries are not digitized yet. So I think there's plenty of space. I think also the whole landscape has changed with the introduction of the World Handicap System in the world. By that, meaning it's a common server where people can, get handicaps. Um, Once we are connected to that, it's down to the club to choose um, which kind of software they prefer, and that is best price for best features. And I think we're very, very balanced when it comes to not having by far the highest price, but having much better user experience than others. And then I'm just going to give you an example, and I'm going to stop there. In a few years ago, we went to Turkey, and they needed to organize tournaments, and Turkey is a hotspot for golf in off season. That means starting October and until March or April, Turkey it has good weather enough to host these tournaments. So this tournament organizer said, "Okay, I'll start using your software here. They have tournaments where there's 200 plus attendees. Those people who went there and saw the software and installed it on their phone, they went home, and their national associations and their national unions started asking, "What is this software? We really love it. We like it how we can use it." And then they called us up looking for us to actually provide the software. And I think we made like, I don't know, 10, we implemented in 10 countries just by doing that. And we're going to be continuing to doing that. So we're going to go to the globe hotspots, and we're going to be providing this because it's also the word of mouth. Once you go there, the tournament is played in the system, you get your results on your phone, on your app, you will see it, you will like it, and then you will take it to your home and then look us up to actually get the software. And we got that a lot. And I think that convinced us that we have a good enough software in order to be competitive in America as well. Case in point, we just started in America and we already made headways. I think we already implemented in 4 places, and we're looking to have at least 4,000 users resulting from that. So that is almost a quarter of what we have today in a month. So I think the potential is tremendous, and I think the sooner we can fund this properly and the sooner we can actually get more people involved in the United States, the quicker it will go up.
Thank you so much for these questions. And then, as we're heading towards, um, the second part of this session, I wanted to also ask, as um, what are the main things that you want to achieve, with this funding round? And on top of that, also, what's the main thing that I would say excites you at this opportunity? I mean, this is a question for both of you. You can, one can take one and the other can take the other.
Yeah, I try to be very short in my answers, just to allow Nick to compliment me. He takes his time to explain things. But
Yeah.
listen, it's for me, things are very simple and mechanical. We're looking to invest to use half of the money for continuing product development and half of it for marketing and sales and just growing the presence, as Nick said, US and the rest of the world. So with regards to how we plan to use the money, it's a pretty mechanical answer. And with regards to what excites me the most, aside, I will let Nick continue with his excitement about US growth, because I think it's clear from his presentation, the passion that he derives from that. But for me personally, what excites me is this opportunity of getting closer to Uber concept. And it's very interesting. I was talking to somebody recently who said, it's very ambitious and it's, Uber is big. I know, but I happen to have been in California when Uber was small and was born there. And I happen to have had interactions with them then. And the shout to fame, if you want, for me, is that we're almost becoming an Uber for golf for Eastern Europe. It's not big, but we have almost all the countries in Eastern Europe sort of connected with AM.Golf. And I think that's the part that excites me, that I think we have the next step. First, we grew a substantial user base connected geographically, and now I think we can expand the services that we offer to them so that they really feel we're a one-stop shop.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to keep it brief. What excites me is the actual possibilities, and the fact that this market is so big, and not only the US market, but like the golfing market as a whole. It's absolutely huge. And I think getting a slice of that, it's it it can be done. I mean, it really can be done. It's possible. We've seen it, you know, over and over again when we sold to here and there. We understood the metrics, and we understand and we see now the behavior in the United States as well. So I'm excited about the potential and the actual growth. Um, I'm excited with the fact that I think we have a really strong team. I'm really, really happy about the team and the dedication of the guys back in Cluj, who are you know who've been with us since early days, and you know they you know, although one of our guys is not a golfer, he already learned everything about how this works, and he, you know, they're really great people, and I think that having such a strong backbone is going to help us build over time, and I'm really grateful to them. So I think I think uh, I think when team meets opportunity and they have the money to do it, I think great things can result from that. So I you know, as an investor in my track record, I always looked for this holy trinity, and I think we have it here. So I'm excited.
All right.
And we saw also the market responding to this fundraise, and we understood that, you know, pretty quickly, we already secured a good portion of the funding. And I think that the next part is going to come quite quickly. So I think that to us, it's only about now making sure that we have every single tool in place for the American side to sell as much as possible. We also implemented Salesforce and DocuSign in order to automate the contract signing so that we can deliver as fast as we can to the American market because it's a fast market. So really excited.
And as a parting question, there's something I think it's an interesting one, namely, you know, you've pitched a lot about what your plans are and what you want to do, but what are also your expectations from investors? Like, how can investors help you besides the capital that they provide?
Well, you know, I always talk to Adrian about this, and I always felt like, you know, there is a difference between a strictly financial investor and an investor that can also help you do stuff. I think I think that, you know, um, investors can usually help us with ideas. They can help us maybe open some doors that we cannot maybe at a certain moment, or give us some sort of, I don't know, indications. You can go to that country, and you know, let me introduce you to somebody who is in the game and could be a potential business partner. So I think that I think that you know, the more specialized in golf they are, sometimes it does help out. Um, and I'll give you an example. For instance, in the future, I might be looking for a partner that is very famous when it comes to, you know, his life. And I'll give you an example. So one of the best golf players out there in the world from the celebrity side is Justin Timberlake, right? Justin Timberlake has millions of followers. Now imagine what we would be if he would say, "Well, I went to golf in the weekend, and then here's my scorecard," and he puts a link for AM Golf. Possibilities are endless. So in that particular case, and Justin Timberlake also has a venture capital company. Now, in that case, it's money meeting also image that automatically helps you develop even more exponentially. You know, so it's one of those things.
I
It's
can
one of those things.
I can also jump on this, Eric. I actually quite appreciate the question, and I myself, in some discussions, I got the same questions, which is in some way humbling because not only people say that I want to be part of it, but they also ask, and how else can I help? And this is actually an interesting topic. I mentioned that I came back from Silicon Valley, infected with this idea of startup and creating a product. And I also came from there with two principles that Nick alluded to. One is, if you're going to raise money, if you're going to raise it from a financial company that only helps you with the money, then you better make sure that you have an ecosystem of advisors around, because the financial company will mostly help you with the money. Now, the advantages of the crowdfunding, if I may use this word, Eric, for what you guys are doing, is that when you get smaller amounts from many people, you're also creating a community. And while I don't know how specifically each individual in the community could help me, I know that a community can help me and can help us much more than a pure financial investor could. So I always appreciate and I welcome the openness and the idea of how can we as a community help each other going forward on this journey.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time. Yeah, usually the last question that I ask to founders is, as a wrap up, and what would be the three main reasons why an investor should invest in AM.Golf?
I can start with that.
Go on,
Nick,
Adrian.
you can go with
Yeah.
Well, first and foremost, I think everybody who invests should think about return on investment. That should always be the first thing or the first reason why you invest. The second has been sort of alluded to this, is that there is a sense of us getting somewhere or achieving something big, and being part of it is a satisfaction that is beyond financial, I think. Last but not least is because I think we have grown our sense of community among our clients, among our platform. And I think that's, if you want, for me, I always, even when I discuss with Nick, if all else fails, then being a good part of the community is yet another reason for this. So for me, these are the three reasons why somebody should consider investing. But first, top of the list should always be your personal interest in being part of something that has a chance of making it big.
Yeah, I have the same. I mean, in my investor experience, usually people invest for return, and then the other add-ons come, like sense of purpose, being part of some, like, a nice story, community and all that. But yeah, I mean, normally people invest to make money, and if that works, then probably the other ones are nice add-ons as well.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time and walking us through, your vision and plans. As a reminder for the investors, you can access AM.Golf campaign page on SeedBlink, and it's also here listed in the chat. If you have any follow-up questions, don't hesitate to reach out directly to Adrian or to Nick, either directly, or you can also ask your questions on the discussion tab on the campaign page. And with that, I want to thank you for taking the time and wish you a very good afternoon.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you
Thanks,
very
everybody.
much.
Thank you.